The Straight Talk Express, the campaign bus on which the senator traveled and sat with the press, not on an intermittent basis, but on a nonstop basis, for all day, every day for the entire campaign. I should admit this to you. The Straight Talk Express was an accident. John McCain didn't say, on principle, I want to spend all this time with news media. And we, as his brilliant strategist, didn't say, oh, what an extraordinary opportunity to get our message out in an unconventional way. It happened by accident. And I'll tell you how. For many months, the campaign struggled. When I went to work for him, McCain used to like to joke. He would say, I'm at 3% in the polls with a 5% margin of error. And what that meant, as these two can both tell you, is when you're at 3% in the polls, there's not a lot of reporters who want to spend time with you. Yeah. So we would travel by rent-a-car or a volunteer driving us, or if we had really had a good fundraising day, taxi. And if a reporter happened to be traveling with us, that reporter would sit in the front seat next to the driver, whether the volunteer or the cabbie or me. And McCain would sit in the back. That's how we'd separate them to achieve message control. And he would talk and talk and talk, and they would talk and talk and talk, and he got used to it. Then the campaign built up some steam, and we graduated to a van with 6 seats in it. Same thing. If we're lucky enough to have a couple of journalists with us, he sat and he talked for as long as they wanted to. And then on Veterans Day 1999, we were in New Hampshire, and it was the first time there was enough press interest, enough media interest to have a bus. And we got very, very excited just that there was that much interest in the campaign. And a volunteer, a New Hampshire volunteer, no high-paid strategist or medium-paid strategist, came up with the idea. A local volunteer in New Hampshire painted the sign Straight Talk Express, slapped it on the side of the bus. John McCain gets on the bus, and these buses are set up the same way all campaign buses or campaign planes are. He put the press in the back. There's sort of a Maginot line that separates them from the rest of us. Then in the middle, you have the volunteers and the junior staff, who are sort of the DMZ. And then in the front of the bus, or the plane, you have the candidate and the senior staff, and that's how you establish some protection. You guys have both seen this. So there we are in Manchester, New Hampshire. We got the press in the back where you belong. Got all the young, earnest kids in the middle, blocking. And then all of us self-important people sitting in front. And John McCain gets on the bus and walks right past all of us. Walks past all the earnest young kids and sits down in the back of the bus with the reporter.
Your worst nightmare.
Yes, exactly. So, and again, not out of his strategy, but this is what he had been doing for the past several months.
Right.
And all of us in the front of the bus look at each other in panic. And someone says to me, Schnurr, you're the communications guy. Go get him out of there. I'm like, why me? I walked to the back of the bus, and I said, Senator, wouldn't you want to come up front and sit with us, us important people? He says, no. I said, well, why not? And I'll never forget what he said then. He said, because you're boring, Danny. And we thought that he would sit back there for the next hour or so, and then after the next campaign stop, he'd come to the front. We thought he'd sit back there until lunchtime, and then after noon, he'd come to the front. And we waited for him to come to the front of the bus for the next year, and it just never happened. So that was the Straight Talk Express.
That's great.